vortex. I think I told you that I had went and seen that new Barbie movie. It was written by a screenwriter who I'm actually a pretty huge fan of. I really like the film The Squid and the Whale, which is definitely like an independent film. So I find it interesting that like Noah Baumbach and his girl, Greta Gerwig, I think they write a lot of stuff together, but they've been together for a long time. But I think it's cool that they collaborated on this and made something that's actually like kind of mainstream, that people are gonna mistakenly call woke, but it's actually, well, let's talk about the term woke. Because I was actually talking about this with my friend Brittany yesterday, like, because we interpret the word woke completely different. So most people, when they say woke, they're talking about like just being obsessed with identity politics. Okay, that's what it means for a lot of people on the left. Okay, but those on the right, that's R in sign language, just to let you know. Those that are on the right are offended by this movie because they think that it's like pushing a bunch of woke garbage. But I think that it was really well done. But it is like just absolutely absurd. But the world is absolutely absurd. I think that was the point of it. So people that, I mean, like a lot of lefties will say that it's about like patriarchy and like, you know, female empowerment, all that shit. A lot of people on the right will say that it's like, you know, propaganda, like they're trying to convince you of something in relation to like the gender roles. I think that it's just proving how like just utterly ridiculous it is to like have certain expectations on an entire group of society and like base your opinion of the world, like sorry if I'm like I'm trying to piece it together, but it just seems kind of silly to like think like, oh, everything's falling apart because of women, or everything's falling apart because of men. You know, I've been guilty of saying that myself, and there is, you know, a part of me that's like, you know, satirizing it, or you know, I'm just aggravated about like the state of the world and how it just seems like everybody wants to be mad, and it's easier for them to have a target than it is for them to just be mad that this is the way that it is, you know. And I think that is the problem with leftist politics, is that they want to fix things, but they can't fix a lot of these things, and that makes people that are, you know, more traditional or conservative, you know, sort of like dig in their heels about it. But, you know, I just think that people can't be truly liberal because they can't be truly conservative. You know, all of the materialism involving, you know, women, and this obsession with beauty standards, and this obsession with, you know, materialistic culture. And it's affected both sexes. But it just shows that, like, Barbie and Ken, men and women, women and men, whatever, people obsess about who came first, you know? Chicken or the egg, right? But it's just silly to me because It's like, why can't we just exist? Like, why do we have to obsess about our purpose in relation to gender? And you see this happening with race. Like, they're doing it through skin color. If they're doing it through skin color, then they're definitely going to do it in regards to gender. And so, you know, women that want to get married, women that want to be moms, women that dream of being a mom, okay? There are plenty of women that want that, but there are some women that don't, and that's cool, you know, and you have to just allow those people to exist. I think that where we get wrong is like obsessing about, you know, certain people doing certain things. I think that that's a problem no matter what. Just stop telling people what to do. I realize that now is the wrong time to say that, considering how chaotic everything is, but it just seems to me that this whole like structure and order doesn't really exist as long as people keep choosing distractions, okay? Like, that whole existential crisis, I think the whole movie is about having an existential crisis. I really do. And I mean, that is like one of the main themes, I think. But yeah, it was really funny and like well done. But just sad too. Really sad. And that like we base our idea of ourselves on what other people think of us. You know? Men and women. Men because of women, women because of men. Like, things are reversed. So now you have like men seeking after women the way that women used to seek after men. Both are wrong. I don't care. We should do it because we want to do it, not because we're pressured to do it. Okay? Societal pressure, I think, is one of the main culprits of why people are so obsessed with all the wrong things. And they wouldn't have this problem if they believed in God, because they would just have faith in whatever they're doing. They would have faith in, like, something. You know, it's weird. I had this guy that I dated a long ass time ago. He called me up. I've told you guys about this, but if you don't already know, here it is. And if you do already know, just stop watching it or listen to it again, because it was so interesting the first time, was it not? This dude that I dated for 3 years, he was like my first boyfriend, my first love, pop my cherry, all that jizzy jazz. Speaking of jazz, right? Well, it ended really badly with him. Years and years after we dated, like, he finally contacted me and was like forgiving and just like water under the bridge. I think it's water under the bridge. I've looked this up 3 times and I still don't remember which one it is. But yeah, so he called me up, I think about a year before COVID. So it was like, yeah, 2018 or like maybe early 2019. He called me up and he was just really, really depressed. And he was like, Amy, you've always had this direction that I've never understood, because your life was completely falling apart. You were an alcoholic. You were really depressed and cutting yourself and all this shit. But it's like you still, you know, had something going for you. And what is that something? And I told him that it was God. And he laughed at that, and he thought that was ridiculous because he's always been secular. I mean, that was something that we actually, you know, turn the car, really, really disagreed on. And like, he would give me shit. And I wasn't even a Christian at the time, but I was like really, really spiritual. So like, I prayed, I talked to God all the time, and he just didn't understand it, and he thought it was dumb. But he was like this intellectual about it. And so, yeah, so when we had this conversation, he just couldn't believe that I was like super into my spirituality, like even though, like, you know, I was so self-destructive. And I've thought about that more, like how, you know, if you're close to God, you're also close to the devil. So the devil's really going to fuck with you. I feel like it's really hard for people that have strong faith in God to not also have strong faith in the devil. But yeah, he inquired about that, and I told him, you've always scoffed at the idea of God, but it's like, it's the only thing that has got me through any of this. And there are just so many things that have happened, like, I can't deny his existence, because, like, it's just crazy. Like, it's crazy to me that things happen and people don't think that there's any kind of spirit. There isn't any kind of energy. There's nothing out there. It's like totally coincidental, or it's totally happenstance. And I also think that those people, not all of them, but I think a lot of them are like not into like the conspiracy way of looking at things. Now, I know plenty of people that are conspiracy theorists, and they believe in God, but they don't believe in religion because they know that religion's being controlled. And I mean, I understand and I agree with them a lot. But yeah, I didn't really like find Jesus until 33. So, always believed in God though. Tried to deny him, didn't work. Ended up in a psych ward by my own doing. But anyway, what was I originally talking about? Faith. Yeah, I think that a lot of these people that are really conflicted, they don't have like a strong foundation. And so it's easy for them to be fluctuating in their stability because they don't have that strong, like, that, I can't, no, it's not something you can explain. It really isn't. I mean, I almost feel like it's blasphemous trying. Yes, I'm sorry, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I never want to disappoint you, but I know I always do on some level. Well, no, I think I was getting at the fact that, like, everything in my life, Fiona Apple, she has a song about this. Like, the very first track of her recent album, it's probably my favorite track on the whole album, where she's talking about, like, everything leads to something else, and then she realizes later on, like, what the whole purpose was. And yeah, I think that, like, yeah, people that are crazy are a lot closer to that truth than people that, they trust the world. They trust, what they're told about stuff. So, yeah, I've always had that faith because I've had to have that faith. And also, I was really self-destructive. So just because I believe in God, that doesn't make me less self-destructive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that that's a huge misconception about Christianity. I think that we need to, like, get away from this idea that we have to be perfect. I mean, Jesus is the example, okay? He's the example because we suck at that. Like, as human beings, we suck at that. Now, I don't believe that babies were, like, born sinful or whatever. I think that's stupid. But I did a joke recently. I think I did it last week. I was saying babies cry because they live in a world of sin. They don't know how to tell you. Yeah, I'm sure that is true on some level. Yeah, maybe that's why I developed schizophrenia. I don't know. But anyway, I was talking about faith. Sorry, I know I pause a lot. I just have a lot on my mind, man. I psychoanalyze myself too. So, like, I'm watching myself do this. It's always been like that. So I guess it was kind of obvious I'd be in front of a camera at some point because, that the camera's in my mind all the time. But all the best artists have a camera inside of their head. But I think it's a very disturbing thing. Because you get some pretty fucked up pictures, you know what I mean?
When people that don't have self-awareness, they don't realize how stupid they look all the time. I do realize how stupid I look. Like, trust me, every time that... I mean, right now, I'm chewing with my fucking mouth open, because I'm a bitch. Don't care. I mean, it'd be one thing if I was, like, doing informative videos about something and like, trying to make a name for myself and, like... I mean, I care about my viewers, but not enough to change my content. Are you kidding me? I mean, I feel like there's enough content that's, like, edited and... people, they put a lot of time and effort into, like, making it perfect. And me, I just kind of accept that it's not perfect. I don't think that makes me lazy either, because I work hard in other ways. And that's the problem. It's like, I get all these people that say they're, like, neurodivergent or whatever. I thought of a better term. Neuro-anarchist. I come up with my own fucking system. And any neurodivergent person would totally agree with that. Because you have to. I mean, if medication works at all, it works for a very short period of time. And it's a Band-Aid. I mean, I'm not... You know I'm not going to say all drugs are bad, though. Well, it's like, why wouldn't you find better ones? Find stuff that works and discard the stuff that doesn't work. You know? Your job is to survive in this fucking world. If you have psychological problems out the wazoo, like we do, it's like, it makes more sense to do something that makes you want to kill yourself less, you know, rather than take psychiatric medication. But, you know, I know a lot of people, they say they need that shit, so I don't want them to kill themselves. I definitely don't want it to be because I told them to get off their meds, you know, but, oh, shit. No way to win, right? No way to win. But, like, I feel like the Lord has blessed me with the Lord has blessed me with this beautiful hindsight. And I have a lot of wisdom because of it. I know that I sound stupid a lot of the time too. I know that I sound like I'm just totally out of my mind. But like I said before, I'm in my mind, baby. I'm in my mind. And when you're in your mind, people tell you you're out of your mind. Because they don't know what it's like to really think about stuff and analyze themselves. Because analyzing themselves is painful. Meow. 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 That's when she starts doing those meows. Those are my favorite. Do it again, do it again, do it again. The sweetest little baby. No, you can't have any of that popcorn. I don't think you'd eat it anyway. She might eat it. I know Arlo ate the popcorn. Arlo ate anything and everything, and that's why he's dead.